Good morning friends. Today we are discussing, in the last lecture we are discussing about the flame photometry introductory part and the application and the principle. We had seen that the principle of flame photometry, inside the flame a sample is injected in the form of solution, then leaving behind the solvent particle to form the residue inside the hot flame. In hot flame, this residue is converted into neutral gaseous atom, and this gaseous atom absorb the energy from the flame and goes to the excited state, and excited state is unstable, so they come back to the ground state with emission of certain kinds of radiation with some intensity. The flame photometry is a use in qualitative as well as quantitative purpose. The basis of qualitative analysis is the measurement of wavelength of emitted radiation, while the basis of quantitative analysis is the measurement of intensity of emitted radiation. In this lecture we want to discuss about the instrumentation of the flame photometry. We just talking about the general block diagram for the intensity for the instrumentation of flame photometry. In the flame photometry, part first or component first is a burner or a flame. Burner is used to produce the flame. For that purpose, fuel and oxidant, different kinds of fuel and oxidant are used by changing the composition for the temperature zone. Then sample is aspirated in this flame by using some suitable nebulization process. Second component is monochromator. Filter or prism is used as a monochromator. Then third component is a detector. Detector used for detection purpose, that light energy is converted into electrical signals. Then amplifier, and finally readout device. Before to start actual instrumentation, we just discuss about the flame. What is a flame? Flame actually is basic and important part because it is it plays an important role in atomization process. Until the atoms are formed, they will not go to the excited state. Therefore, you should consider about the flame. Flame is produces inside the burner by fuel and oxidant. If we consider this diagram of a flame, it has three parts. One is primary zone, second is inner core or internal combustion zone, and third is secondary zone. When sample is aspirated inside the flame, this hot flame, at this primary zone there is a formation of vaporization or solvent evaporation process is taking place, and residue is a form at this place. Then in the internal core, or you can say that internal combustion zone, this is the hottest part of flame. This one is the hottest part of a flame. In this part of flame, total atomization process is taking place. That means this neutral residue is converted into the neutral atoms. These atoms absorb the energy inside this hot portion and goes to the excited state, and they come back to the ground state with emission of radiation, and the third part is the secondary zone. But in some cases, if you think about this flame has a disadvantage because it will not give 100% atomization. Some amount of sample is wasted. Okay. Then just see the instrumentation. In the instrumentation, burner is important device because burner produces the flame. In flame photometry, there are 2 or 3 kinds of a burner are used. According to our syllabus, there are 2 important type of burner. One is a total consumption burner. First burner is total consumption burner. And second burner is premix burner. First, we see about the total consumption burner. As the name indicates, total consumption burner. What do you mean by total consumption burner? In the total consumption burner, the total amount of a sample which is aspirated inside the flame is consumed for the evaporation or for the atomization purpose. Hence, it is named as a total consumption burner. The typical simple diagram of total consumption burner is drawn on the board. Okay, if you think about the different parts of this total consumption burner, it is simple to construct and simple to use. In this total consumption burner, there are 3 inlets are present. one is used as a fuel, second one is a use for oxidant, and third one is a use for entering the sample. Okay, fuel may be different kinds of gases like as hydrogen, propylene, ethene, natural gas are used, and oxidant may be simple air or oxygen. Pure oxygen is used as an oxidant. In total consumption burner, sample is taken by the capillary action and directly goes into the hot portion of a flame where evaporation is taking place. This burner has some advantages as well as some disadvantages. Advantages is that total amount of a sample is consumed inside this burner, but disadvantage is that it is noisy and high temperature is needed for atomization process. If you think about fuel and oxidant ratio, by changing the fuel to oxidant ratio you can change, or by changing the fuel or oxidant you can change the temperature of a flame according to use. Suppose we use gas or air, it gives 1700 to 1900 degrees Celsius temperature. If gas and air is used, gas and oxygen is used, 2700 to 2800 degrees Celsius temperature. If hydrogen is used as a fuel and air is used as oxidant, temperature range will be 2000 to 2100 degrees Celsius. And if hydrogen and oxygen is used as a fuel, then highest temperature, that is 2500 degree to 2700 degrees Celsius temperature can be achieved for the atomization purpose. Then we think about the second kind of a burner, that is premix burner. Premix burner, as the name indicates, premix means sample, then oxidant and fuel are mixed inside the premix burner before they reaches to the flame. I am drawing the diagram of premix burner here. There are inlet, one is for fuel, second is for oxidant, third is for sample, then here is a drain. Inside the premix burner there are mixing baffles are used for the mixing purpose of fuel and oxidant. Okay, these are the mixing baffles. Then if you think about the construction and working of this burner, fuel is entered from this portion, sample is entered from this portion, oxidant is entered from this portion. Before they reaches to the flame, here flame is produced. They are continuously mixed by using these mixing baffles. In this burner, the larger amount of droplets of the sample are drained out and only smaller amount, or you can say aerosol like particles are entered to the flame, so that complete evaporation of atom may taking place inside the premix burner. Again, one advantage of this burner is that the flame width is high, so that there is a high surface area for the burning of a sample is taking place or available. This one is a premix burner. Then third component of the flame photometry is mirror. Second component of flame photometry is a mirror. Why mirror is used? When sample is burned inside the flame, they goes to the excited state and come back to the ground state. During the de-excitation process, radiations are emitted to cover background radiation. Here mirror is placed so that the focal length of this mirror is adjusted towards the monochromator, so that there is a loss of some radiation can be achieved, and total radiation means total radiation produces during the de-excitation process goes to the monochromator. Then next component is monochromator. Monochromator is nothing but used for isolation purpose. Monochromator is used for isolation purpose. There may be prism or filters are used as a monochromator. Prism and filters can be used as monochromator. Filter, sometimes filters are chosen because some element gives the broad spectrum, and to avoid the broad spectrum, filters, particularly absorption filters, are used as a monochromator. In sequential spectrometer, monochromator can scan to different emission lines in a sequence. In simultaneous spectrometer, monochromator uses are polychromator or spectrograph, and in direct reading spectrometer, polychromator are used as a monochromator. And then next component is a detector. What is detector? Detector is a component which converts light energy into electrical signals. During the emission process, after monochromation or after isolation of a radiation of desired wavelength, these all radiation reaches to the detector. These radiations, that is radiant power of radiation, is converted into electrical signals. By using of this detector. This is the main function of detector. In photometry, photomultiplier tube or phototubes are used as a detector. Then last component is readout device. The simple readout device or computer program can be used for the reading purpose, which gives the reading or directly graph in some cases. Then in some monochromator, slits are also used, entrance slit and exit slit. Entrance slit is present to avoid, entrance and exit slit are present to avoid the stray light entry during the measurement, to avoid the error during analysis. Next topic will be taken in next lecture. Thank you.